Information is still coming in at the moment, but police have confirmed to me that there were at least 3 teens shot and one of them has died. 49-year-old Jolene Woodruff was just waiting for the bus here when she suddenly slipped and fell down by this fence. So this is just one of the windows completely busted out from the damage done to Slinger's press box Monday. You can see over here the other 2. They're a little bit taped up. Y si hablan español y están interesados en fostering, tenemos esos detalles en nuestro sitio fox6now.com. Security is not just letting anybody skirt inside here. There are checks for everyone. Now, one of them will even get you this red wristband right here, where if you leave the festival, you can't go back in. You kind of end up with stuff like this, things huge snowbanks that you can see here. They're bigger than me. And if you look in sort of this ditch-like area where I am right now, you can still see those scattered car parts right here and then tire tracks going underneath this broken wired fence from where that car landed after he collided with that cow. Not feeling too good right now. Like, I feel like your weather is mocking me right now. It's light out here, but I feel no sun. Like what is this? 3 people, a child was among that, were killed in this just gruesome crash behind me. We know it's a 55-year-old, a 28-year-old, and a 9-year-old. You can still see the mangled vehicles. While we were out putting this story together today, 2 other cars had its windows completely smashed out. She is still alive right now, but she did lose her baby after being shot while in this construction zone behind me. She was in a very understandably emotional state, and a lot of the words that she used are not really appropriate for television, but in a sense, she's very angry at Anderson, and more than anything, she just wants to have her daughter back. I actually posed the question as to what do people want to hear from former President Trump before the convention is over, and one man told me that there's really not much that he needs to hear. And Bri and Steph, it was a really difficult experience for Sade Robinson's family today, having to sit there in the courtroom and listen to all the gruesome details surrounding her death. And now that they say that Anderson is charged, they now want a conviction.
This sick son of a is gonna pay.
Barely speaking above a whisper.
This is justice for Sade.
And fighting back tears.
Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby?
Sheena Scarborough.
She hurt nobody.
Was pushing forward for her daughter, 19-year-old Sade Robinson. Friday, Robinson's family sat in court and heard the grim details surrounding her death, while staring at the man accused of taking her life, 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson.
The allegations in the complaint are abhorrent. It was the highest level of violence imaginable.
Prosecutors say Anderson and Robinson were going on a date Monday evening on April 1st. The state says they went back to Anderson's Southside apartment around 9 o'clock, where they say he killed her between then and early Tuesday morning. They say he then dismembered her body and scattered pieces around the county.
The defendant did a tremendous amount of work to try to cover up the crime, including lighting Miss Robinson's vehicle on fire.
Last week, police found and connected a severed human leg in Cudahy and a foot in Milwaukee to Robinson. After text messages and witness statements linked the 2 together, Anderson was arrested April 4th during a traffic stop. He's now charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson.
Sade was more than a person. She was an angel. Not having her right now is very painful.
Family says the entire timeline has them shaken.
Imagine trying to bury your niece with no body for the service. I need justice for Sade.
And they want the person responsible to pay. And Anderson's attorney also tried to get that first-degree intentional homicide charge dismissed, saying there wasn't enough evidence to prove it, but that was dismissed. At 80 years old, Herb Zinser never thought he'd be facing this kind of an uphill battle.
There's shattered glass all over, so don't touch too much stuff.
Since the 1950s, this is the house his family's called home. But now...
They told me that this house is more or less totally damaged.
Damage from an EF1 tornado that hit Watertown Saturday.
As you can see.
Wow. A mess.
I sleep here. And I got an air mattress on the floor.
The storm blew out his windows and tore the roof off his home.
This is the one I was standing at when I got these cuts.
Cuts on the hands and face while trying to close his windows before running to the basement.
I picked a piece of glass off my chest. About this size, you know.
Pretty much everything in the bedrooms are trashed. All the food in the fridge is trashed. The truck is trashed.
You never think it's going to happen up here in Wisconsin, you know.
Now he's staying with neighbors while trying to salvage what he can, but he still has time to find the humor.
If I do find a girlfriend, I'll stay at her place.
Now, this is to give you a more expanded view of the damage from Saturday's tornado that has absolutely just decimated Herb's property. You can see trees completely uprooted from the ground, bits of wood and shingles scattered throughout his lawn, metal bins blown to the other side of the road, and a barn flattened.
It was heartbreaking.
Neighbors like Jennifer Conkle strapped on boots and gloves Sunday to help the man they've known for years.
Neighbors around here are family, and you help when you can.
I'm just lucky I'm alive.
Alive and anxious, waiting for insurance to find out what happens next.
Everybody told me life goes on, and you better make sure that you understand that part, you know.
Darronté Matthews, Fox 6 News. It's a sound Ricardo and Eva Hernandez thought they'd never hear.
They brought a lot of joy to the house.
That childlike joy is fairly recent.
Here we are, 6 years.
Eva and Ricardo couldn't have biological children, so they became foster parents. So far, they've adopted 3 foster children and are in the process of adopting their 4th. It's an experience they'd never considered until Eva heard a Spanish ad from Children's Wisconsin.
It said if you wanted to be a hero, that there were many Latino kids entering the foster system.
After lots of talking and planning, Eva and Ricardo decided to foster Spanish-speaking children.
Right now in Milwaukee County, there are about 1,800 kids in foster care.
Of those 1,800, roughly 13% identify as Hispanic or Latino. Only 7% of current foster families identify as the same. They didn't have the exact numbers about how many foster parents speak Spanish, but they know they don't have enough.
As kids grow, that identity, that connection with that community that they are from is very important for kids.
Children's Wisconsin recruits, licenses, and supports foster parents in Milwaukee County. They recently created a webpage in Spanish for those interested in fostering. The goal is to recruit more people like the Hernandezes.
Sobre todo, ¿cuál ha sido el aspecto más gratificante para ustedes?
The love that the kids give you.
The family of Marquel Roby Holmes is ready to march downtown to get more information on his case. They say they're also turning their pain into purpose so another child doesn't lose their life the same way.
I rub the tree like this, and I say, your mama love you, miss you so much.
This is just one of the ways Marquita Roby keeps her peace every day.
I just talk to the tree. It just makes me feel good every day.
This tree is a living, breathing memorial to her 4-year-old son, Marquel Roby Holmes, led by his picture and surrounded by his favorite toys.
This was his bike.
The 4-year-old was killed on Father's Day last month in a parking lot at Milwaukee's McGovern Park. Roby says a driver ran over her son.
This car came smashing through and just knocked my poor baby clean over.
She says there were 2 adults in the car and that the driver was initially detained. Now she has a message for that person behind the wheel.
First and foremost, I want to say that I forgive the woman.
And you say you forgive her. What does forgiveness for you look like?
I want to say that she's probably mourning and going through it too because she ran over and killed my baby.
She also says she wants some sort of justice for her son. Marquel's uncle Michael says their devastation is also pushing them to make a difference.
It's bringing me to tears just thinking about what went on and how it played out.
They're petitioning to bring speed deterrence to all Milwaukee County parks and parking lots.
We feel like speed limit signs and speed humps could be the difference in saving somebody else's child's life. And even if it saves only one life, it makes all the difference in the world.
They say it's the least they can do for their baby with the old soul.
The world lost a little old man, which was my Cadillac fan baby.
And Roby says her family plans on marching at the Milwaukee County Courthouse tomorrow, hoping that will give her some answers on her son's case. So far, no charges have been filed in this case.